Idaho state government kicked into high gear today.
Lawmakers passed their first resolutions, and Governor Butch Otter outlined his vision for Idaho in his State of the State address. Jake Melder was there for the governor's speech and has much more in tonight's big story.
Governor Otter started out his third term in office by laying out clear goals that he has for this year's legislative session. His State of the State address was both reflective and prescriptive, looking back at the lessons that we learned from the Great Recession to carve out a better future for our state.
Perhaps the most important message I want to leave with you today is simply this: Idaho learns.
Governor Otter would repeat that phrase, Idaho learns, many times in his speech. It was a pillar on which he built an increased budget for state education.
In Idaho, public schools are the most fundamentally proper role of government. They are essential to the health of our families, our communities, and our economy.
Otter's proposed 7.4% increase would largely be spent on teacher pay, though some would go towards school operations. Most school districts have had to create levies to supplement their operation costs. The governor also addressed the need for increased spending on infrastructure.
And if Idaho learns means anything at all, it's time for us to address that elephant in the room.
Otter expressed concerns about a change to federal transportation funding, as well as the deteriorating status of more than 700 bridges in the state.
This isn't a matter of Henny Penny telling us the sky is falling. It's a real problem.
Those two subjects, education and infrastructure, are likely to take center stage for lawmakers this year. The governor also talked about Medicaid expansion. He continues to express doubt as to whether or not the federal government can be trusted on the matter. However, House Democrats said that they're going to continue to press the issue. Their concern is focused on the county indigent fund being used to cover hospital costs, as well as the potential federal support expansion would bring. Still, the caucus was, in general, pleased with many of the governor's remarks in his address today.
Because the big issues for Idaho, of course, are family incomes, right, and our support for public schools. So that was really encouraging, and many of the things that we as Democrats have been holding out for and trying to get on the plate for years.
House Minority Leader Rushi said that the state has been going in the right direction on many things and seems to hold out hope for bipartisanship in this session. There was one sticking point in today's address regarding a potential gas tax. Governor Otter said that any funding that goes towards infrastructure will not be supported by him if it comes out of the general fund. That means lawmakers are going to have to get a little creative in finding a source of revenue for that line in the budget. Live at the State House, Jake Melder, Today 6 on your side.